All right, today we're diving into something really weird and fascinating. It's a text that explores the strange connection between boredom, memory loss, and confusion. Let's get into it.
So this whole explainer, it really boils down to this one simple but brilliant question. If you're going to give a talk about boredom, are you supposed to keep it interesting? Or, to really get the point across, do you have to make your audience bored?
The source text we're analyzing is what's called a philosophical grotesque. I know, sounds intense, right? But all it means is that the text is designed to be weird and confusing. It doesn't just talk about an idea, it makes you live through it. It's a journey into what happens when communication breaks down. And trust me, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, section 1. So on the surface, this thing pretends to be the second lecture in a series. Sounds normal enough, right? Yeah. Not so much. From the very first sentence, it starts to go off the rails.
And just like that, we're lost. Instead of defining boredom or explaining it, the speaker just gets tangled up in this meta question about the lecture itself. It asks the question and then immediately starts questioning the question. We never actually get an answer, and that, right there, is the core technique.
And you have to understand, this confusing style isn't a bug, it's a feature. The text is meant to make you, the listener, feel completely and utterly lost. Let's look at how it does it.
You see this constantly. The speaker pretends to get us back on track, even admitting that we're probably confused. But it's a total fake out. It's all part of the performance, designed to make you feel that same aimless, drifting sensation of being profoundly bored. Here's another thing it does that's just maddeningly brilliant. It creates these endless little side paths. It'll open up a super interesting idea, and then, just as you lean in, it slams the door shut, saying, "Oh, well, that's a topic for another time." It dangles meaning right in front of you, and then just snatches it away. And this is the real kicker. The speaker actively tells you that their own points don't really matter. So you're sitting there trying so hard to grab onto a key idea, and the text just kind of shrugs and says, if you missed it, no big deal. It is an exercise in pure frustration. So is there a name for this kind of intentional madness? Yep, it's the philosophical grotesque. It's a type of writing that uses its own breakdown, its absurdity, its refusal to make sense as a tool to investigate itself, and more importantly, the mind of the person reading or hearing it. So what we're really dealing with here is performative content. The very structure of the lecture creates the experience it's talking about. You don't just learn about confusion, you are made to feel confused. The medium really is the message. But it gets even weirder. This whole performance has a much stranger goal than just making you bored. The text starts to build this surprising and honestly kind of creepy connection between boredom and the act of forgetting. The text itself basically admits it. It suggests that the boredom it's creating is so powerful, so effective, that it can actually cause you to have memory problems. The lecture is so pointless and rambling that your brain just might refuse to file it away. And you know what's crazy? This isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. It lines up perfectly with a real psychological principle called levels of processing. And the idea is super simple. The more you engage with something, the more you pay attention to it, the stronger the memory you form. But information that your brain decides is totally irrelevant, like this lecture, it gets processed shallowly, if at all. And poof, it's gone. So the text takes the scientific idea and just runs with it. It compares your brain to a muscle, saying that if you don't use it, it weakens. And then it asks this radical question. Can this lecture be used as a tool for accelerated forgetting? Can it actively train your mind to let things go? All right, so just when you think it cannot possibly get any stranger, the text drops a bombshell. It reveals a hidden purpose. This isn't just a lecture about boredom. It's something else entirely. This is the big reveal. You, the audience, you're not just listeners, you're test subjects. Your reaction, how bored you get, how much you forget, is being measured. It's a criterion to see if you are suitable for some mysterious, unnamed project. So let's just break that down, because it's wild. The whole lecture is a cognitive experiment. Step 1, deliver a rambling, nonsensical talk. Step 2, observe how it messes with the listener's attention and memory. And Step 3, use that data to select people for. Well, we never find out for what. The mystery is the whole point. So, what is the point of all this? What's the meaning behind this emptiness? To figure that out, we have to see where this strange text fits into a much bigger philosophical conversation about what boredom can teach us. What's so cool is how this connects to some major thinkers. For a guy like Martin Heidegger, this kind of profound boredom would actually be a gift. It strips away all the daily distractions and forces you to confront your own existence. But then you have Theodor Adorno, who would see this as a political problem, a symptom of a culture that's designed to keep us passive and docile with repetitive entertainment. And a deconstructionist like Jacques Derrida, oh, he would have a field day. This text is a perfect example of his idea that meaning is never stable. It's always slipping away through endless digressions, just like language itself.
And that's really the genius of it all. The text's failure is its success. By constantly refusing to give us a clear, easy answer, it forces us to ask a much deeper question. Why are we so desperate for things to make sense in the first place? It's a radical challenge to our need for neat little conclusions. So, here's the thought I want to leave you with. This whole journey started with boredom and led to the idea of memory loss. And it leaves us with a really provocative question for our hyperconnected world. We spend so much time and energy trying to remember more, to learn more, to pay attention to everything all at once. But maybe, just maybe, there's a profound and necessary power in letting go. What is the true value of forgetting?